Happy Monday. It is so good to see you on Monday. It's Mindful Monday right here on your world. No Monday blues.
No Monday blues.
No Monday blues.
Winnie is lighting up the set today. You are uku looking.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
We're braiding today.
Yes.
We're braiding. We are braiding today on the show. But it's so good to see you. Hope you had a restful weekend. Today, tunaongea the future of work.
Yes.
And for some time, tumekuwa tukishtuliwa, oh, AI is coming. Oh, AI itakuwa inasomea news. AI itakuwa ina present shows. I'm sure even in the different fields, there's a lot of conversation about AI and robots and all those things.
Yeah.
But we'll be looking at the future of work today on the show. So really excited about the conversation.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I think at the beginning, when probably we were in school, it felt like our careers are linear.
Yes.
It has to be this one path forever and ever. Ukishaishika ni mpaka mwisho. But then right now things are changing. Yes. We go to school, we study one thing, then you feel like, the marketplace looks like it needs something else. So you go study something else, you combine all of those things. Yeah. Then it is modokoi or something beautiful.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I used to ask myself, so it doesn't get to a point where there's confusion, because there's what you studied,
yes,
there's what you like to do,
yes,
there's what the market demands you to do. That is just, it's me, one person.
One person. So sometimes then the question is, am I losing myself to fit into a career, or do I use the career to mold what I want my life to look like?
Absolutely. That is the conversation we're having today. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
But hey, listen, we have the best people to have the conversation today. Tuko na career coach, tuko na HR professionals here on the set today. So what have to say there to really understand what does the future of work look like, okay?
Yeah.
But before you meet them, we have a question.
Yes, we do. The question we're asking you today is, what's the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? What's the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? NTV Kenya on all our social media platforms. Sijui kama Winnie, work remotely.
No.
I think during COVID, did it ever?
No.
Yeah?
No.
I did a bit.
Yeah?
I did a bit where we weren't going to work every other day, but we're still on air. But in your house, you do...
Wait, how did that happen? Did they bring cameras to your house?
No, you pre-record just with your phone, because I think COVID allowed us to play a bit. Yes, so you do your little segment if you're not the one on air, because we reduce the number of people going to studio. So record your little tiny segment, send it in advance, it's edited in, and you know, it's part of the show.
Interesting. I mean, see that? Technology. Yeah, we'll also look at the role of technology as well as far as the future of work is concerned, and we're looking at redefining productivity and flexibility. And when we talk about flexibility, Gen Z's walitufunza ile kitu. Okay? Walitufunza ile kitu. Okay, but we have some of them here on set as well. So watatuambia, how are they doing and how are they feeling after disrupt the entire market, okay, and the entire workforce. But joining us this morning to have the conversation, we have Jane Mutisia. She's not new here on the show. We've had her before, lakini alipotea, but she's back. She's a HR projects director from Career Management Center. Good to see you. Karibu sana. You look amazing.
Thank you. You look amazing too.
You always look younger every time you're here on set. Utatuambia siri ni kama. And we also have Brian Mwiti, who is the CEO, Careers Without Borders. Ooh, I like that. Karibu sana. Thank you for making the time. The only gent among the, nyinyi ni gents pia, lakini like panel. And last but not least, and the only Gen Z
on the panel.
Hey, okay. Are we ready?
No, we are ready. We are good. We are good. We are happy to have you here.
We're good. Okay. And last but not least, we have Fancy Mutangili.
Yes.
Okay, good. She's a HR practitioner. Karibu sana. Good to have you on set. How are you feeling with the Gen Z Karibu na wewe and others behind you? The future of work ati we're redefining it now.
Yeah.
So how are you? How has it been dealing with these people?
Cool. So for the record,
I
am not as old.
Okay. No, it's okay. Apart from the Gen Z. It's okay. When is millennial?
Uko pale kwa boda.
Yes.
When is millennial? Apo millennial na Gen Z.
Umeguzwa na hiyo damu ya Gen Z. Are you as radical?
Okay.
Yeah, in my mindset.
Yes.
But you have to be But in terms of how it has been, when you guys mentioned what the market wants, what you studied, and where you're at currently, I think that has been my story. Having studied, taken an undergrad in something different, and then transitioning into the HR space and practicing all along. So I do understand that the market, I mean, it's about you as a professional and what is required. Understand yourself first. And then what value as a person and as a professional are you bringing on board to the marketplace. And so by doing that, I mean, the rest will be, as they say, history. If you continue walking the path and you're diligent, because you are allowed to be many things. We hold many titles. We are not just linear. We're quite diverse in and of ourselves. So yeah, being that and owning that is one important. So self-awareness, maybe I'd summarize as that.
I see that. I'm curious about the transition, So whatever you studied, was it ile ya mzazi, ukamaliza, ukampelekea certificate, be like, hii ni yako. Thank you. Now I'm going to do my own thing.
No, not quite, actually. If I'm being honest, I did study sociology and political science and public administration. And the reason why I took that essentially was because during the job times, that tells you I'm still a zillennial. During job, I mean, that's the course that I ended up picking. I initially wanted to study law, and I feel like HR is not very far from what law is, because we are guided by the employment laws and principles of that nature. So it's not quite far, and I wanted to do that mostly because of my dad. I mean, you grow up and you see him taking a certain career path. And you think it's cool and nice, and you are silently mentored in that direction. So that's what I took.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's bold. And comes with what you said, self-awareness. And just before we get to the Gen Z, Jane, allow us to indulge you. Alafu atatuambia yeye hii disruption inatoka wapi? Nani who hurt you guys? Was it our folks? So what?
Our moms.
Your moms. See? Nico close. Nico close. But Jane, when you look at what the marketplace has been like before and what it looks like now, and having to adjust probably to all of that, how has that been, and how are we doing in general when it comes to accommodating, creating room and space for the new sort of like work behavior, habits and all of that?
I would say it was forced. Where I worked before COVID, only managers would use flexi. Only managers would come maybe between 10 a.m. and about 3. The rest of us, even if you're a small baby, they will never allow you. You have to be in the office between 8 and 5. So flexi was a benefit for the management, for a few people in the office. But with COVID, we didn't have an option. So it was a forced revolution that, guess what, guys? We are changing the world, we are changing how we work. People who had never maybe even delegated work were forced. I keep saying, talk of forced succession planning. People are sick. You had always heard into this. You could never show anybody. Now you're being forced to actually pass it because maybe you're unwell. So COVID, I keep calling it a forced revolution that forced us to come to a change and change the dynamics of work. And then when you talk about flexibility and even remote work, it is not an option anymore. It is not a benefit anymore. It's not a privilege.
It's not.
It's not, everybody now is able to just work remotely, but then you also have to look at going to the office. What was it giving us? Collaboration, being able to work with your colleagues, because people form bonds at work, you know? So even as you go flexi and remote, you have to think about then how do we have a mix of both. You know? So most people are going to what you call the hybrid. Some jobs are 100% remote. There's someone here, maybe Brian will tell you. Nairobi working in Canada. So you're here, but you wake up at around midnight because you're supporting a different time zone altogether. So there are guys that maybe will never have that hybrid, but most people, even in the country like Kenya, we have to go for that hybrid. So you have the collaboration space and people being able to work virtually. So the office has changed completely. It's no longer an attendance place. You have an office at home, you log in, you work, but the same is coming with so many changes. Policies that we never used to have, we are now introducing at work. You know, almost everyone has a remote working policy. If you're working from there, how eligible are you? What makes you qualified to have this? If you're working from home, how do you discipline you? What is out of order? What is your expectation? So we have been forced as employers and even as the HR people to now rethink a virtual world.
Yeah.
And then see how then, and people, even job seekers, are asking, is the job remote?
Yes.
If it's not remote, I'm not willing to proceed with the interview.
That's where we are at.
So we are being forced. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So there's no option of saying that we cannot go remote, we cannot be virtual.
Yeah.
It's a conversation that even employers now have to extend.
Yeah.
And have that conversation.
Because I think it also changed how even employers look at the output, because it was about how, clock in, umeingia, umetoka, I want to see you here.
And you have someone monitoring.
Yes, but now it's changed. But then the output, probably it's not something they really looked at, but right now that is what we are focused on, which is where it's at. What are you doing?
Let me just add to what. It has changed even how what leadership is.
Yeah.
Because for most people, managers, it was supervision.
Yes.
I have to come keep checking, what are you up to, what are you up to, watching. We even had something called Umba, management by watching around.
What?
Management by watching around.
Yeah.
So now that has been disrupted. Yeah, now we are managing people not through supervision.
Yes.
And we would even see job adverts saying you should be able to work under little and a minimal supervision.
Yes.
Now we need to work without any supervision.
Yes. We went to interview rooms with that. I can work well under pressure with minimum supervision.
That's
and
me.
all those things, right?
Yes.
But that has changed over
Now you
time.
have to work with the supervision because you're working on your own from home.
Yes.
You have to know how to manage your time, manage yourself. Your boss, who used to be a supervisor, watching around and doing all that, now has to also understand it is no longer about you know, micromanaging you and checking where are you and all that.
Yes.
We have to have a different structure. So not just us coming to the office, even how we lead, how we manage has been disrupted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd also be curious to understand how then can HR practitioners still have in mind the policies, say, of different organizations, then merge in, you know, the whole changing about the structure in terms of hybrid, you know, working, but also ensure there is productivity, because there's some people who you tell them to work from home. Hey, you know, that's a whole different conversation.
They work at home.
They work at home,
Yes.
not from home. Yeah, but Brian, I'm curious about, because like you said, we're Gen Z.
Yes.
Mumekuja mukasema sisi, we will tell you.
We will tell you how we
redefine
want to work.
Yeah. How is that going?
I feel like most of us grew up with parents who were never there, like literally never there. And Akuja Subuhi in the morning at 8 a.m. She wakes up in the morning, makes you breakfast or something, and then they leave. You never see them again. By the time they're coming back, you're either asleep or you're in your room, you've already eaten. You see, so you grew up without that experience of having that family bonding. And we feel like we don't want that for ourselves. I want to be seeing my kids often when I do have them. I want to have time for my friends. I want to have time for my hobbies. I want to have time for fitness. I want to have time for everything. So there's no way I'm going to go somewhere and work, because it's not a 9 to 5. It's probably like 6 to 9 p.m., right? Because by the time you're leaving Nairobi, the traffic, 9 p.m. That's too much time you're wasting on the road, too much time you're wasting preparing, going to find suits. You see, you can use that time for something else.
I like it. It's full circle though, you know, because to be honest, that structure is what we grew up seeing. And we knew even when I work hard and I grow up, that is what I will be. So it's not just about the office space, it's also the quality of life that you build for yourself and the family. Because
do you know what he mentioned? And I was like, he was like, yeah, I need time with my friends. I need time for fitness. Me, I'm like, hey, you tell your boss that, oh, listen, I need time for fitness.
My mental health is in my career.
They'll be like,
excuse me,
you know,
where work uko 10 p.m. ukifika enda gym.
Yes, please, not even that. It's like we don't care.
We don't care.
Napanda stairs ukishuka.
Get a standing table at the office, which was also odd back in the day.
Yeah, so
I want to add something to
yes, please.
So we're having a new phenomenon whereby people are home, parents at home, but they are present but absent.
They're there, but
they're present but absent. Actually, even in the exercise and gym, we have people who are not even lifting. They are not even leaving their desk. Even in the office, sometimes it's better because then you get to go get coffee, you go to the washroom a bit far, you interrupt by saying, hi, going for lunch with colleagues. So we're having now the flip of it whereby people are working at home and it's overwhelming.
But I think people need to realize that the company is not your father's, the company is not yours. You know? If it's 9 to 5, just give them the 9 to 5 and then clock out and do something else.
I like that,
Okay.
You are aware that the job gives that flexibility. So plan yourself and don't just be overwhelmed because you woke up in the morning, you didn't shower, you sat, eat from the desk, did everything from the desk. You can say you are kids, but you're actually very absent. You know? It gets at night you even haven't gone to the gym. Actually, they were saying during COVID, during that time of people working from home
Yes.
is when some of the chronic illnesses really get.
Yeah,
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, because people are not even doing, there is no movement.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I like what Brian is raising.
Yeah.
And that awareness for someone working from home is very important.
Yeah.
To just schedule your time, even for the people that are in your social life. How then do you accommodate them?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I think with every point from everyone, it builds up on something else, because when Brian talked about Kampuni si Mama Yako, it also goes with how like we grow our careers, you know, and the loyalty we have to companies and what that means to your dedication to them, because are they as loyal to you as well? You know, also understanding that and finding a balance of knowing when to step away, when to be like, yes, ask for things that need to change, because most of the times you don't want to ruffle the feathers because you're too scared to leave.
That's the thing, and you want to be seen as a hard worker, loyal to the company.
Yeah.
Unaingia 6, unatoka 10 p.m.
Yes.
You know, you're dying slowly inside,
Yeah.
but just because you want to impress your manager, you want to, you know, impress your colleagues, you want to be seen as that person who's dependable, who's dedicated, who's loyal.
Yes.
But
To
then
what
again, how
end?
loyal? To what end?
To what end?
Yeah.
So in terms of career growth, maybe Fancy, we can rope you in on this. In terms of career growth or being in that space, so you've already chosen Gen Z or millennial or kama sijui kama wako bado boomers huku tukiendelea kwa hii kazi. How then should we probably structure, even as we're choosing careers, how should we structure probably our mindset and probably how we want the trajectory to look like?
Cool. So every generation has always wanted very different things from work. Work ethic is different. I think he has shared, Brian has shared what he grew up seeing. I have shared, I chose my career path essentially just looking up to my dad as well. And so the commonality is all generations across time will always value work and will always want to be in work. The commonality, however, being that we all value work and we want to be in the workspace, is to realize that a new shift happens every transition, while every generation transitions. So the structure that was in the past in terms of how you dress, in terms of your supervisor hovering around you and things like that are now gone. So it's a new generation, it's a new age group. And so career now, more and more we are starting to see, and post-pandemic we have realized that you need to own your career as an individual. It's your business,
Yes.
ideally. So you're at the driver's seat, you don't delegate. And so that means continually advocating for yourself. That means continually upskilling. That means continually, changing your options, and that's how you tend to see very dynamic shifts from one career to another.
Yes.
So the structure is not in what your employer will give you. They will never guarantee you that. They shouldn't actually. And I think that's one thing that we observed with older generations, where they really depended on an organized structure. And now the skill set that's being called on for regarding, besides the technical skills, it's now the soft power, that ability to be able to be extremely business intelligent as an individual and knowing where you add value. So, and that is what will be the driver of your career. So it doesn't forget the old days, they're gone. It's a new normal. And in fact, way beyond flexi working, we are now moving to even working from anywhere concepts, which is now the future of where we are at. You know, we are looking at a new world order where, like, when I think of myself in HR, we're already there.
Yes.
Maybe in Kenya, we will catch up eventually, where the workforce is not just humans.
Yeah.
What about robotics? I'll have a non-technical, like a non-human team that I supervise or that I oversee. So it's important now that structuring is at a personal level. And I will still say it again, what is your business value, because you are the business. You know? Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, what's that? You
are the business.
you see me?
You see the business.
Yes. Yeah, you are the business. What's that? When break on that note, and then when we come back, there's so much that we need to unpack in terms of understanding what was important then, what is important now, and what will be important in the future. Because now you talk about robotics, and we're like, we don't want to hear those things. What's that? You know, robots and what, you know, but like someone said, they're not coming here to take our jobs. They're coming here to support. Okay, so what will the future look like? There's so much to unpack, but remember the question that we're asking you this morning is, what is the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? We'll also look at your feedback after the break. Do stay with us.
Welcome back to Your World Monday edition. It's Mindful Monday, and today we're looking at your career, what it was like, how we chose it, where it's at and where it's going. So if you are at a place where you're feeling, I do not know where I'm going, what I'm doing, then this is the perfect conversation for you, because it is going to probably shape how you make that decision. And it's probably kama ndio unaingia sasa. Sasa ni perfect kabisa. Because we're looking at what the future looks like in the workplace.
Absolutely, and how to prepare for the future. Okay, and what that would look like really. But the question that we're asking you this morning is
it's very easy.
It's very easy.
What is the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? What's the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it?
I can hear lots of people say getting out of bed. You know, because see the laptop too, I did, you know.
Your meeting in Anza in 2 minutes. I still have time.
Yes, you just wash your face and then
na camera hata haiko on.
But really, share with us if you've ever worked remotely, what is the biggest challenge that you faced and how did you overcome it? Okay, we'll be looking at your feedback as we continue with the conversation. But right about now, do we open the floor for questions from the audience? Because ni Gen Zs, nani ni zillennial hapa? Millennial, Gen Z, Alpha. Okay.
Guy.
So,
Gen Z. Ata Gen Z amko? Surely. Tutafanya ile kitu ya 30 minutes to the end of the show. Si ndio mnataka? Nikisema it's 30 minutes, guys, sasa mikono 55.
With all the questions. But hey, whoever has a question, burning question, we have the perfect panel to answer your question. So, nani anataka kuanza? Who has a question? Concern? Feedback? You have a question? Okay. And please start with your name.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Faraj.
Yes.
So my question is that you find that in the current world, maybe you have done a different course. For example, you have done I have done social works. Then you go to the employment. You find that there is no vacancy in that department. So you are forced to go and do job in the other field. So then you adapt that field. Then after some times, you in the field that you have started, you get a job, but it is not well paying. So in a bid to stick the field that you have gone. So what do you? How do we go about it? Do we study that field, the other field, or we just maintain? Sababu mtu anakwambia job experience, you have done it in 2 years. Then somebody has come from the college, then he or she is being asked 2 years experience. Na bado ana. So you get that you are just fit in that job. Then the employer decides to add you something. So do you study, or because you have just gained experience, you continue?
Good question.
I would love to answer that.
Okay.
So if you, for example, start in, maybe you did a course in HR degree, and then you don't get a job in HR, you get a job in sales, right? And you do it for 2 years, and you're starting to make decent money in sales now, but you still have that HR degree you want to use. And then you apply for a job, and it's entry level, and the pay is way lower than the sales job.
What you're getting,
The key is to ask yourself, 5 years from now, what do you want to be doing? Like, don't look at the short-term thing. If you want to be doing sales 5 years from now, then okay, continue with the sales thing that you've been doing. But if you cannot envision yourself doing sales for the next 5 years, just stick to the HR role that pays low. Maybe like reduce your spending for a few months, because 5 years from now you will definitely be at where you want to be. You see, yeah. So I think that's how I'd advise you. Yeah.
And also, like, sort of like, sorry, Jane, balancing passion versus what is available, because a lot of people, there's some who might want to study what they like and what they're passionate about, but then you're told, akuna kazi, now you're forced to, you know, do something else. So then balancing that. So
when we're taught like the frameworks for that, usually ask yourself 3 questions, or like you get a coach or mentor, someone who is in the space, and you discuss these 3 questions with them. So number 1, what is the most available in the market?
Okay.
So maybe you have 2 things or 3 things. Which one is the most available? Number 2, which one pays the best?
Okay.
And which one will you not hate waking up on Monday to do?
Okay.
Yeah. So if there's one that,
choosing the career.
Yeah. So like if there's one of the things, maybe it's sales or HR or anything, if there's one that meets most 3 out of 3, or at least 2 out of 3, you focus on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then where does like your strengths and your strengths, passion, and all those things fall when you're answering these questions? Because what
like which one
is
you not hate
available?
or waking up on Monday to do? Because
That's where your passion lies.
Strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll respond to that, and then I'll add what you had asked them. So for passion, the passion, because sometimes you work because we have things to do. You are looking for money to maintain your lifestyle and do other things. So if your passion is going to pay you, by all means pursue it. And we may not have a chance right now that where your passion can fit, but you can create that. And I always see people who have created their own niche, some that did not exist, but then you go and ask yourself, how would I monetize this? Who would it be serving? Who would be the client, and all of that? So take your time, think through. Seeing a coach is good, and just discuss on how then would you monetize your passion. But if the passion that is cannot sustain your life, you have it, but then you are suffering, then it's not helping you.
It's not.
But don't give up on it.
Okay.
See how then what niche do you create. I've seen people who have a passion in music, opening up music schools, joining with schools and other things and doing many things. People who have a passion in cooking, opening up very beautiful things and doing all so you can always think about not being employed, but what can you do with your passion to actually be able to monetize it? And have money.
I like that.
That's interesting because please just continue. Yes.
And then for that, maybe just tell you, Brian is a civil engineer who is in HR. Fancy is social scientist who is in HR. I am a chemist now in HR.
Yes.
Sciences. But for HR,
what's your sciences?
So just to tell you that what you study in school is one thing, and it just gives you a foundation.
Okay.
After that, you can do so many things.
Yeah.
I moved from that to HR to coaching, and I don't know what will be my last thing. You know what I mean? And you also have to keep scanning the environment. Companies are always doing that scanning to see what is changing, technology, the space. Because even there are jobs that were there when you went to school, but now those jobs have been phased out. So you are not going to start saying, this is what I studied. You have to look at your market and see what skills do I need to serve this market.
Okay.
Even for us who are working, you'll find that maybe there's a HR job, but if I don't do 1, 2, 3 other things, I'm going to be phased out. So don't get stuck in this is what I studied. See what Fancy said. What value would you bring to the space, and how can you top up to stand out? No one will ever remember that you're a civil engineer. Because what you're doing is adding value. People get shocked when they realize that this is what you studied. Then they can see what you're actually doing on the space.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Can I add?
Yes.
Just to wrap up on that question. Actually, as HR persons, I know you guys, when you send us CVs, when you send the organizations we work with or for, CVs, that's the conflict that many job seekers have. Maybe what they studied versus what they're doing or what we're offering and things like that. One of the things that we continually say is, and we look at in the practitioner, is basically what's your skills bank like. So all those jobs, they give you very different competencies. So that's what we're after, really. And the more the merrier, you know. So don't be afraid or don't shy away from taking one job because you feel like it will get you off track to another. Reset your thinking and look at it more of, I am adding to my skills bank. And so with time, you figure out, I am really good at this and I'm not good at this. And then you're able to readjust quickly, because also that's the world that remote working is all about. That ability to be adaptive, that ability to wear many hats, that ability to also just have a very panoramic view of life. So if you are centered in one way, my God, you will struggle on so many levels. Not just the job or career path trajectory, but even just simple basic things like interactions, you know. You're in Nairobi, you're working with a supervisor or a team that's based in an entire different time zone and a different, those are skill sets, you know. When I did say soft power, that's a different skill set that is needed for you to navigate. And something else that it's important to remember, another example I could add is you could have worked in the HR industry, for instance, like we all have, but you work with multiple industries within HR. So, and we all know some, of course, pay us better than others. But that doesn't mean you abandon ship just because you didn't like one client or one organization. So it's that adaptability and think about, what do I have in my bank? That skills bank.
And still, to just base on his question, up until now, we still see lots of parents who would tell their kids, tafuta ile iko na market. You know, ile ni marketable. Ile ukishatoka shule, huta hustle sana, ndio upate kazi. So a lot of people will base their career choices on what is marketable, what is readily available. Ile nikitoka shule, sita hustle for 2 months, nitaingia, you know, ready into the job market. But then again, tagging it into now the future of work and what that looks like and what jobs would be obsolete, you know, say for some reason. Like how do we balance that? I know you mentioned a little bit about it, that don't just look in the now, but also look in the future, in the future as well. So I don't know, for those parents who still maintain that angalia ile kona market side, what do you say to them?
And I think the crazy thing is, there's a lot of people who are doing software engineering right now. So many people I know telling their kids, do software, get into tech. But there's an AI that can literally build you an app that is functioning within 5 minutes now. Like a whole app which used to be, someone would charge me 200K to build it for me 2 years ago. I can build it in 5 minutes with vibe coding. You see, so you have to understand that it keeps changing. And the same way Safaricom, they were not marketing themselves the same way they're doing now in 2010. Their products are not the same in 2010 as they are now. You are the company, okay? You need to be constantly going to webinars, constantly going to networking events, learning what's next in the future. For example, if I'm in HR, what's next in HR? What do I need to learn to stay ahead of the curve? And if you're supposed to choose a career, maybe you're in uni or you just left uni, or you're supposed to go into uni and pick a career, don't look at right now what is people are, because everyone is hiring software developers now, but I don't think that's going to be the case 5 years from now, right? So find coaches, find experts and ask them, okay, what do you think would be the most common thing 5 years from now? What are people going to be hiring? And I feel like for me, it's going to be people with soft skills to help manage teams and also to just like use the AIs. So a combination of having really good soft skills and people skills, and then also being tech savvy, like knowing how to use the AIs is going to be one of the most marketable skills you could build right now.
Interesting.
Tumepewa Mwakenya. You know, this is what I thought. The very beginning of the show, I was just like, this is a Mwakenya field show.
Right?
Yeah, you know, because to be honest, I think it is important that this is coming out right now, because when you look behind you, these are young people probably looking for jobs, you know, sending those CVs, looking for remote work because they want to probably double in a few other things. But what are some of the biggest mistakes they're doing, even as they apply for these jobs, especially for remote work? Because Abumesema earlier, how it better be remote. I gotta take care of my mental health. You know, I need to work out. Who's gonna feed my cats? You know, important. Yes. What are some of the things? What are some of the things that they're doing wrong right now that they probably should adjust to help them or probably make them more marketable?
I would say that hasn't changed much. We still have to be professional, whether you're working from home, whether you are Gen Z or the silent generation. There's some minimum that are required. Communication skills, being early, being on time, being accurate, even in your applications, even in the things that you interact with people. Those are basics. Being able to work with other human beings. You know, you could just be saying that maybe you just sit and do your work and go home. But that ability to be able to interact and be a good team member, team player, team lead, you know, all those things are minimums that are required. So I would say, and also just being able to stand up, understand, I'm applying for this, they require these particular technical skills, like Brian has said here. How is my technical capacity? What is required in this? Technically, am I good? And then do I have to be followed? Because again, if you're not, some of the challenges that I've seen from my HR perspective, sometimes you employ people on remote work and they're working from wherever, but then you need them for a meeting, they're not in that particular meeting. You need them to come and present something, they cannot be on camera. As much as the policy says you must come on camera, because then how then do you interact? Yes. We're talking with a name that we can't see, you know? And even for interviews, I've seen people coming for interviews and because it's virtual, you take it so casually. I'm sure you have seen this. Because it's an interview, come so casually, you have a t-shirt, you have a hood. I've seen those things. Even people sitting like you sit in yoga. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, I know it's virtual, but this is too casual now, you know? Yeah. And that's the basics of even learning how to interview on a virtual interview. Having your lighting proper, sitting properly, and preparing as if it was just in person. You've been able to know that if you're looking at your laptop like this and looking at your face, we see you looking down. Because the camera is up here. So just even learning where do you position so that people can actually see you're giving them that eye contact. And just knowing that it's the same thing. The interviews will be the same. We'll be looking at a few other things, but it's almost the same thing. So prepare as if it was just you come into the office to interview for it, and just be decent. You don't have to wear a suit. But be decent. Be decent and be present. And then communication. Just be able to express what you want the interviewer to know.
Brian, I'm curious, like adding more onto the mistakes that you would say the young people are doing now, because umesema tusitafute shoot, okay? But sasa mimi nakuja tu na crop top hapo, nimekuja
I mean with my piercings,
you know, like I am being myself.
I'm being myself. And we've had like issues even with like hair. Dreadlocks, some companies nakwambia I see formal, they need to be either umeteseka. Have you suffered because of your hair? You know, there's a lot of things that probably were there before, but those things I think are changing now, aren't they?
100%. And I feel like if you like have dreadlocks or piercings, there's companies that are willing to and don't care about it and will hire as long as you're delivering. I think the biggest mistake people make when job searching, especially for remote opportunities, is not understanding how online things work. Let's say, for example, you have a business and you sell shoes and you post them on Instagram, right? I can't trust you just because I see the shoes. I need to see maybe evidence, you know, maybe one celebrity wearing your shoe or like an influencer dancing with your shoe so that I can have that trust in you. And then number one, you can't be posting like once a week and expect to be selling shoes, right? So it's the same thing for job searching. Number one, you need to build like a really good resume. You need to build a really good LinkedIn profile. If you've worked with Jane before, you ask her for recommendations. If she says you're a good person on LinkedIn, people can trust you now, right? If she says you're a good person, people can trust you now, right? Then once you do that, you need to be applying very aggressively. You can't be doing 1-2 applications a week.
No.
You see, because you're applying to companies who don't know you, so it's basically just cold emailing people. Kakusmama in the streets trying to sell something to someone, right? Out of 20 people you give the brochure to, only one will take it, right? And out of 100, only one will buy. So it's the same thing with job searching. Don't be afraid of the rejections. Job is your go pasana.
I
remember to get my first role, I had to get like 400 plus rejections.
Wow.
400
How
plus?
old are you,
Wait,
Gen
I was
Z?
about to ask that. Like, wait, what?
It was crazy.
Brian!
But now once I got the job, it changed my life completely. You see, so it was worth every single rejection. So don't be afraid of the rejections. Just apply as aggressively as possible. And as she said, prepare for the interviews and be very, very mindful of the fact that that is your first interaction with them, and they will judge you based off that for the rest of your interaction.
You never get a second chance to make the first impression. I see that. And speaking of resumes, kitambo tulikuwa tunapeana 5 pages ya CV. Tunaandika hobbies. Tunaandika
married.
Christian.
Yes, you know, all those things. Do you want to
There was a template.
Yes.
For cyber.
Wait, let me tell you, But can we talk about how that has changed over time? Because now you hear a lot of companies tell you just 1 pager. Usituambie
1 million things.
Please, you know? So, can you just talk about how that has changed over time? What is important in a resume now? What is not? What should people include? What shouldn't they include?
In summary, what we need, or rather what we'd like to see as recruiters on a CV, is everything that ties us to what we are discussing, the conversation of the day. So if I'm hiring an accountant, I want us to speak accounting. So competency is related to that, your experience related to that, and even things that would make you stand out, as Jen said, in relation to that accounting role, you know? And it's for you to articulate that to me in that CV. We call CV knowledge documents, because they speak for you way before you ever get to sit with any panel. And now it's even more complicated because we're having like AI interviews and things like that. So by the time, and it has come actually to the recruiter's benefit. I mean, we get a dozen applications in just simple roles. So yeah, anything, speak the language of what is being asked for
on the day.
At every single time. And now why we're also asking for just 1-pager or 2-pager CVs, essentially it's because we are helping applicants reduce their own personal biases. So when you tell me about your religion and I did not ask or I did not articulate that is something that I needed in the job description, you're just introducing a bias for nothing that will make me disqualify you unnecessarily. When you tell me that you're married with kids, I mean, we all hear that narrative of, I get it, you're trying to lure me as a recruiter to maybe have pity on you and think that you have a family to support and all that, but it's irrelevant. So all these things, by law, the law already protects you against discrimination, and you on your own voluntarily, you volunteer this information for me.
They don't care about you. They will just go ahead and be like, married.
If you state that you're married, it's like you're more trustworthy than someone who's single. So even if you're not,
we can walk you through the weekends.
That's the thing.
Tunatuma mashinani kila mwezi. So we want you. So also like doing like general kind of CVs is a thing of the past now. You have to tailor make it for every kind of job that you're applying
Don't
for.
use that one CV for the 400 applications you've made. Interesting.
I want to add something there. So we are recruiting, we are shortlisting and doing everything, and also using AI, like Fancy. So we have recruitment softwares. So we no longer have like a room like this with 100 or emails coming, then you have to go through the emails. So as you apply, you have to know that your CV will go through an ATS, applicant tracking system software, that passes through all the CVs, and it's an AI, so it says reject. So your CV may never meet a human being if you don't know how to play or how to go through the applicant tracking system. So for those who are watching, I encourage you to just go online and Google ATS, job applications or CVs, and just study how they pass through your CV. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay, so that you have to pass your CV and the job that you're applying for through the system. Because it's like a SOA, search engine optimization. So if your CV doesn't have the keywords that are in the job description, then you keep applying, and the system will keep rejecting you. The human being may never see and say, this person, they don't have this, but I think they have already 80% of what we require. So it's a skill you must have as a job seeker. You have to know that the HR is no longer going through CVs manually or that. It's a system, and therefore it's a skill you must know.
And then you get rejections and you start hating the HR.
It's a skill you must know, and they even have a format that the system agrees or doesn't agree to. So it's a skill. If a job seeker, you can't afford to just be applying. You must learn how to apply the jobs in this era. So go online, read about job application through the applicant tracking system or the ATS. JobScan is my best. It has enough resources for job seekers. Do you do a PDF? Do you do a Microsoft Word? What kind of format do you attach? Do you do a footer? Do you not do a footer? What fonts? All those things. Do you put a picture? Do you not put a picture? It has all those resources. And I'll keep calling it a key skill that every job seeker must understand.
Interesting.
You understand even how to do those questions. You know, when you're applying, they ask you, we call them the killer questions. So you say yes or no. That no means reject or proceed. So you need to also think, as you apply, think like a recruiter. The system is going to shortlist on behalf of someone. What do they say if I don't have this? If it's asking for 5 and you have 4.5, do you say yes? Do you say no?
Do you say yes?
So very important that you interrogate and put some intelligence in that application.
Absolutely.
And the key thing is that like whether to be honest or not.
That part. Me najua French.
I speak 55 languages.
Nenda naulizwa French kwa interview. You know?
Oh God, we're due on a break. When we come back, we'll open up the floor. I see we have a bit of questions, Ukonyuma, so we'll open up the floor for you guys to ask your questions. And remember, the question that we are asking you today is, what's the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? What's the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? NTV Kenya on all our social media platforms. Our WhatsApp line is open. Please indulge us. And of course, if you have any question, we have a power panel that will take care of that. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. Oh my days. welcome back. You know, we're talking about the workplace and what it looks like, what it used to look like, and where it's going. And we're seeing a lot of things that have changed. We have hybrid right now. We have AI, we have flexi hours, global hiring. Remember, kuna kitu inaitwa ATS. Umeita ATS. Hiyo sasa wewe unafaa kabla uandikwe kazi, kabla uapply uende kwanza shule ya kusoma hiyo kwanza ndio uanze kuapply kazi. Hiyo CV moja yenye unatumanga kila mahali.
No.
Hizo rejection CHR.
No.
Ni machine. AI ndio inakukata.
Don't hate the HR. Hata kuona CV yako.
Hata usijaribu kuambia ule msia aongeleshe HR kwa sababu haikufika. The question we are asking you today, even as we talk about all of this, is what's the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? What's the biggest challenge you faced while working remotely, and how did you overcome it? Kwa WhatsApp, wanasema nini?
Let's see. What's our WhatsApp Nation? Kabla tuchukue feedback from here. Okay, so this one says, I've been working remotely or virtually anywhere more than a decade now. My biggest challenge has been mental fatigue and social disengagement. However, I do take a day or two breaks off my laptop when I sense mental fatigue is beginning to kick in. I take regular walks or just drive to somewhere new. An emerging challenge is AI, which is now taking away some fraction of online jobs, but we have to find a way to use AI to enhance our productivity and even diversify our niches. Sadly, I can't do an 8 to 5 anymore. I don't like routine work. Job portability, flexibility, work-life balance, and freedom to work are more important to me. Okay, I see that. All right. And then someone here says, hello, good morning. Can our guests briefly take us through what CV entails? Thanks. This is, hey, jina yako ni aje? Taibuna? Taikikas? From Jaro. Hey!
Jina ndo hiyo.
Hey! Unataka kunishtua mtu kwa Westmocott. I don't know how to say your name.
Atiyo jina inaweza confuse HR.
CV, the HR is like, first of all,
tutamuita aje tukimpea kazi. Namuita Mr. T. But I like the first comment that you just read, Winnie, because it shows a lot of probably what goes on behind the scenes. And just to rope you in, Brian, on this, because you careers without borders. This is the life that we are selling. This is you can work from anywhere in the world, but it also comes with other things as well, benefits and things that are probably
so fun.
Not so good, not so fun. Like Jane said, the interaction with human beings. Sometimes I'm pengine ukiwa nyumbani you're overwhelmed. How then, if we're getting into that space, do we try and create a balance of sort? And if we're looking for that kind of job, are there some people or how do I say it? If probably you have kids, the things that you need for you probably to work and work effectively in those spaces.
Okay. I feel like, number one, the pros outweigh the cons. 99% of people who have worked remotely do not want to come back to the office.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Ametuambia yeye hiyo atafanya.
8 to 5.
Hawezi kubali.
Yeah.
The traffic, the hitting, someone hits your car, we could just get us
Yani ana paint picture.
It's very annoying.
Yeah.
So the good things are more than the bad things, like the flexibility, ability to work from anywhere. Like my operational manager for my company right now is in Diani. She was conducting the meeting asubuhi, akiwa Diani, just doing her stuff, you know, and having fun while still
working.
Yeah, so the benefits are a lot. And then if you get like a US company, a UK company, their pay is way better if it's in dollars or euros, right? You get to learn from the best of the best in the world. Like my mentor is a multi-millionaire. He has businesses all over the US. Very smart. I have learned so much from him. My own company, the way I run my life, I've just mirrored what he does. And also, there's a lot of other things that I've learned from just working remotely and being able to build that discipline. I feel like the cons are mostly the human interaction thing. Sometimes you get very lonely when you're alone in the house every day. And yeah, apart from that, the other con is just like, you don't get to, because there's things that I'd learn from her if I was sitting next to her that I don't get to learn.
And they also talked about mental fatigue and also constantly on your laptop, for example, you know, messes with your posture, your eyes, you know. So then how do people prepare? Because most of us look at people who work remotely full time and we're like, I envy your life, man. Maybe you get better chance to work remotely. You know. But then there are so many things that we don't know that probably have been highlighted. So the bigger question is then how do you prepare so that you don't lose on productivity just because you're working remotely? You want to take that, Fancy?
Yes. So one of the things that, as he said, remote working has afforded us, apart from the flexibility and all that good stuff, is we have very new biases now in place. So what you're referring to is called digital, we call it digital fatigue, where you are constantly on a screen working and then you have your phone, you're constantly looking at a gadget. So those come with the job. And then we have other elements at the back in terms of biases. We are coming from a place of proximity bias, where you being next to your supervisor or your colleagues was assumed that you're being productive, whereas now remote working gives you a lot of autonomy and flexibility. And I think at this point it's important for us to define what actually is flexibility. You know, because flexibility in and of itself is structured autonomy. It has structure. It's not that you can do whatever you want whenever you want. And so the shift has been now looking at outcomes and impact. And that's why I said initially you are the business. So the moment you learn how to articulate your impact, you learn to articulate the output, and it's measurable. It's not just chatter or unajipigia debe mali hakuna kitu, you know. And it's not about the fact that you're always online. That does not translate into productivity. So what did you actually achieve, and what was the quality of that work, the product, the final product that has been produced? So,
So you're able to measure that as an individual, but also from an organizational perspective, they're able to measure productivity, because you're away. When you're in the office, your manager will be like, when I on YouTube sana, you know, but then here it's like your own manager, you are your own someone.
And flexibility is designed. It's part of organizational design. The people who've adopted, companies, organizations that have adopted it, it's part of the organizational design. Why do I say that? Because it is a thought-out process. It's not by luck. It's not a trend. Jen already said it's here to stay. In fact, we're moving forward. We are done with the old days of where you must work in an office. It's not a benefit that you will retract whenever you feel like, okay, so now I think I'm done and I need to have these people here. So every industry has very different, they look at, again, as I said, people as their assets, and they even look at things like real estate. I mean, if today you are told all banks are shutting down for whichever reason, and they will work from home, and somehow you should be able to get your money, that industry in itself will set everyone in a panic, because it touches on something very personal, which is finances. So we still want to have them. In fact, we would even prefer they work under shift, like on a shift basis, you know. So the flexibility here is they can be open from this time to this time. And that's actually what happens, you know. They have a degree of flexibility, you know. So I think owning the script in terms of where we are at now, understanding what remote work is all about, and what flexibility in itself is all about. It is a designed process. We look at our compliance, we look at location, you know, we look at time. So and flexibility could be you clock in maybe at 9, you leave at 3 for whichever reason, maybe to pick your kids up from school, and then you continue at a different time from when you started work, you know. It could be maybe you had to run an errand and then for some weird reason, it wasn't a busy day. So you have peak hours or peak days that then you're working extra to be able to recoup time that wasn't well spent, or you couldn't be able to give value. So look at remote work from that aspect of you are the business. Again, I'll keep saying that. And if you can't articulate your value, no one is going to come after you, you know? And this is, let's be honest, adults are in the workspace. We don't have children.
No, we don't.
So you shouldn't be followed up on like as if you are a child. You are an adult. And so behave like one in that work.
Hey, Chad.
Fancy. No, we got you. But I like it. I like what you're saying, because it really depends on you now, your growth and all of that. And we talked about this earlier, and we were talking about how companies loyal to their bottom line, as in it's not about you and everything. Like, you need to get that out of your head. But then in 2025, now going into 2026, what with retrenchment, restructuring, everything happening left, right, and center, what does being indispensable mean? What does it look like? For me as a person who is already in employment and everything around me is changing, how do I become indispensable?
I will take that, but I first want to just respond to the guy, the one online, I can't remember his name, the one who's the question that Fancy and Brian have addressed. He says he feels like he's missing out on the social interactions. So if you're working from home, it's very important that you actually have that in your calendar. It could be maybe you're working, you work throughout, but there are so many things happening in evenings, whatever, there's a webinar, and it doesn't have to be in the country. You know, it's all over global. There are things that you can actually take a break, join a meeting online, people are discussing things. Have a hobby. You can also have things that you say at least every weekend of week, what is happening this Friday? You know, you'll see people meeting somewhere, either in your profession or something different. But you have to be very deliberate for your sanity, so that you're not just working in a cocoon at home and you've been cut off from the rest of the world. So make that deliberate decision that you have to interact, you have to be where the other people are, so you have your maybe 5 days, but then you have time that you just go out and interact.
We see people actually go to like cafes and you know,
even working from
right? It's a totally different environment for what you guys do.
And you have, there's two types of remote jobs. Like there's jobs where it's 8 to 5. It doesn't matter what time you're clocking in. Maybe in Usiku if it's a US one, or in the daytime. And then there's ones that are project-based like mine. So for me, I just get CVs and LinkedIn on my email. I'm supposed to look at them, do some research, rewrite them properly, rewrite the LinkedIn properly, and then send it back to the company. So I can do it anytime. So it's really important to make sure that you have a very strict calendar for yourself. That's the type of remote work that you have. Set aside 2-hour working blocks, work for 2 hours, take a break for 20, 30 minutes, you know? And then now have something in the evening or in the morning, maybe like go to the gym or go for a walk. So that you just like break the monotony of staying at home.
So don't neglect that bit. And if you're the HR for that organization, we'll do team building where we find that you have a cafeteria where people go for lunch, take a break. Now you have to rethink. What do you do now for your remote working employees? So how we do those team buildings, that engagement has to change. Where you even have a coffee in the evening, but everybody comes with their coffee because you're online. But then it's just banter. So we have to think about then how do we address this issue of people feeling lonely at home because they are still your employees. So a call for us to do the thing. Even during COVID, I would see people even having parties. So you're in your house, the company sends 5K for whatever that you want for your party. And there's music, there's a DJ, and all of us are in Zoom. And you're doing your thing, whatever that you are. So very important that we don't ignore that social bit. Back to your question now.
No, it was important to tackle that, really.
On how then do we remain indispensable in the time like this where I think so many things are changing. You have to continuously improve yourself, continuously keep scanning the environment. Things are changing so fast. Today you're a hot cake. Tomorrow you don't know what to do.
There's a hotter cake.
Tomorrow you don't know what to do with it. And it's affecting all the careers. It's affecting all the careers. And I like using the Uber guys because we remember the way they had those strikes when the mobile taxi came. And they went on the strikes, they were posting this. So I keep telling guys, please don't oppose the change that is coming. Because it has no mercy now. It will just leave you behind. You'll come and realize that everything has moved. It is you and your old skills. You are not becoming historical, telling us what used to happen in your time. But the thing has moved. So have the skills and keep evolving, and don't wait for your employer to take you to school. Because I keep people hearing that here people are not trained, there's no budget. That budget is your own budget. You have to create it and make sure that you remain top of the link. In case of retrenchment also, we have very many skills. What you do for your employer, trust me, you can do for 5 other guys. Brian here said she works for several people. I also provide a chat with different organizations. So if you just sit and do what fancy called as bank skills, you know, these are the skills that you have. Trust me, enough of them can do something for you and even give you a lot of cash. Yeah, but we just have to change our mindset to thinking that you can only be employed by this particular person, and if they let you go, no, you're useless.
Your life is,
there's a lot you can do with your skills, including things that you have never done. There are things you could do in your space that have never been in your career. But they need someone to get to do. An example is organizing an event. Just an example, you know what I mean? So there's so much. So we should not feel like we are tied to those jobs, and if they go, and I know this sounds easier said than done, but it is possible.
It is possible, absolutely.
I have a question on when negotiating for, because again, when you come to the interview physically and, you know, unaambia manager, you know, mimi naishi na huko, wapi uko mbali? Jengela.
Rongai watu
watu wa Ronga, mimi naishi Ronga, traffic, so ni allow niingie kwa ofisi at least 10, nitoke 7, you know, something like that. For remote work, there's some people who say, I work very well at night. Me, ukweli, kabisa. I'm very productive at night, and then in the morning I'm just like, please don't talk to me until nimekunywa kahawa, something, you know. So when it comes to like negotiating for such, how do you go about it so that you don't seem to sort of like be lagging when I'm lazy kidogo, but at the same time remain at the top of the, you know?
So most organizations have what we call the core hours. Because also we have office meetings, we have clients that we are meeting, so we need you even if it's not you're not a morning person. So they'll have maybe core hours, maybe 10 to 3. So you all know, even if it's office meetings, because again also we have very many corporates even here in Kenya that have operations globally. So you have someone joining from Paris, someone joining from Germany, and we have others in Kenya, someone in Nigeria. All those areas have different time zones. So you also have to agree. If you call a meeting at 9 in the morning, it's very hard for a guy in Togo. So these are core hours. So during those core hours, purpose to be available. And one of the things that I've seen in the policies is be available and have Wi-Fi.
So at the very least. You can't tell us, oh, you know my Wi-Fi, sorry.
You can't keep saying hello,
We're not hearing it.
Yes, you can't keep doing that. If you keep doing that, then you are saying you are not qualified to actually be able to work away from the office.
Sounds fair. Like,
it really unaona ukuji kwa ofisi ukorongai kwa tuna internet.
Internet, and if you're going to work from home, also like I said earlier, there's a toolkit that you need to invest. Get a desk light, get a proper desk and a seat. Don't work from your bed, because then with time, then your back now becomes a problem. Your laptop here, it can lipuka too because of overheating and many other things. So please just have an office, just get a desk. I know proper organization will even give you an office allowance. So if you're living in a 1-bedroom, you can now move to a 2-bedroom and have one room as an office. Then set it up, make it beautiful, have some flower here and there.
Make it like
this one, like the one that's right behind us.
Make it look like an office.
It's sure to have backup power, because I can tell you how many times.
Backup power.
It's very important. Like, I remember my first webinar I was doing for some people, and then the webinar just started. I introduced myself. I'm smiling. I have my ring light on. I'm smiling. Everything's going well, and then for 1 hour, no lights.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I had a co-host. The co-host had to take over. So preferably live in a building that there's so many buildings in Nairobi that do have backup generators. If not, find like a battery or some way to have backup power for at least 1 hour.
Extremely important.
And backup Wi-Fi also.
And also maybe just to add, and they say, I don't know it affects men, but they say it affects women more. It has the data says it has affected women more. Killing their visibility. So you come, maybe you feel like you have not made your hair or whatever that it is. So the whole meeting you're off camera. For the men, it's easier to just come on camera.
Vaseline too.
So we are told for the women, you have to just know that if you're working from home, every time you come on the screen, it actually makes people relate with you more. Because as we say, it's at a certain level, it's about people who knows you. It's about who knows you, not exactly, because what we know, all of us know. We all have the skill, but from this level is now, have I seen you? Have interacted? Do I feel like I can have a picture of who you are? So very important whether people asking you to be online or not, to be on camera or not. Just purpose. Wake up early, prepare yourself, look that bit and just be on camera.
Shower, please. People who work from home.
Fancy. Yes, Fancy.
So just to add, and now in this remote working era, the offices that exist, even for organizations that do have offices, the view has now changed from attendance to collaborative spaces or community spaces.
Yes.
So it is important for anyone who wants to venture into this side of work, on the remote side of work, to have that in mind, that whenever you need to, like if you don't have power in your house, you have an office that you can go to, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think switch and see it more as collaborative and community spaces.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Haya.
We mikono ndio hiyo. Haya, tuanze na hii.
Ameshika na mic. Niko na mic.
Haya, 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, 4. Haya.
Thank you very much. My name is Raphael from KC University. And I have 2 quick concerns. One, as far as the online working is very good and it's productive, it has presented us with 2 challenges. I call it the CBC, or the competency-based crisis. And this is how it occurs. So gradually, majority of the universities or the learning institutions are going to online teaching and even online assessment. So this is what you need. You only need 2 gadgets, a phone or maybe a computer here, one in the exam, the other one in ChatGPT or Google. So after some time, that person graduates. And when they graduate, remember, when you depend on ChatGPT, you don't need to have internalized the content. You only need internet and power and a phone, which is working. So after some time, that person graduates. That person doesn't have the skills they require for that job. And so when they come into the job market, you find out that those people we call them crooks or what? Those people don't have skills. Yeah. So I believe that's a challenge. And the other one, which I would like our panel here to discuss on, there is this person who has skills, who can work online very well. But in this online space, we have a lot of scams, and you know, wanaita kuosha, unaosha vizuri proper. But sasa, how can this person identify a legit working space in online which doesn't exploit them, which is not a scam, and which they'll be productive in what they do best? Thank you.
Okay. We can have the other question.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Julius Habuba, and my question is, sometimes you find yourself, you have all qualification that makes you to have that job, but when you go to some offices, you'll be told, sasa uko na kazi lakini leta kitu kidogo and utafute kama 20,000 ukuje nayo. And that is for us men. Na ukienda labda kwa wasichana, utaambiwa labda si tupange tupatane sehemu fulani alafu hii kazi utakuwa umepatana nayo. Now, in this generation, I think that is a big challenge we face. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Kuta, and I have a point of clarification.
Okay.
Let me say, I'm ambitious of being a productive person. So, what are these things that I need to embrace in order to possess that trait? Or nikikuwa na domingi nitakuwa productive person? I don't know. Clarification, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm Glenn. I'm a youth leader and UFA National Director of Programs. Also, I'm a young politician.
Okay.
Aspiring to be the next MCA at ward level.
Well, why?
So, viewing. So, I'll ask my question. I have around 3 questions, but I'm giving. Let me give 2. Yes.
Short ones. Yeah.
Short ones.
Yeah. Before we go on a break. Yeah.
So, giving it in a political way. I'm a student also. On my final year, social engineering. So, how do we cope up with unemployment? Like, I'm 20 years now, but when we look at in the Ministry of Labor, we have a Tuoli who is around 80 years, still sitting there with the salary that can that with the salary that can employ almost 100 Gen Zs. So my question number 2 is about the AI. With AI and automation rising, how can the future prove human talent while ensuring inclusivity and relevance in the job market?
Aha.
That's one.
Okay. In 1 minute tutakuwa umemaliza swali ndio tuende break
Okay, thank you. My name is Ochieng Kevin from the University of Nairobi. So my question is, currently we are in the modern world, and young people, I see what young people are really working hard online, but jobs are limited, and we are seeing them doing online and some small ventures. So as an HR, during the time of recruitment, how are you guys transforming others, people, young people, so that you can bring them on board and they can also benefit? Thank you.
Okay. Right. Hey. Questions
back to back
digest and then we answer them after the break, yeah? But actually it's called to both. You have a question. Hey, in 10 seconds. Okay.
There is Amogutu Samuel. There is something that Dana said, that maybe you're working and you left that job to go to maybe online. You consider a job that maybe Monday you can wake up and go to that job. Maybe the first month or the beginning of the other job, it seems that everything is going smoothly. Then after some time, you start being overwhelmed, or the task load is increased. How can you go about it?
Okay, all right, good question. Haya, wacha tuchukue break tupumzike kidogo, alafu when we come back, we will answer all those questions plus, some of your questions as well, and also go through your feedback on the question of the day, okay? So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back after this.
God. Welcome back. Tunafungua roho hapa. But that was a very interesting question because the question beat continued during the break.
Welcome back. So many questions that needs to be answered, but let's see what people, WhatsApp, wanasema as far as the question of the day, and that is what has been your biggest challenge when it comes to working remotely. This one says, good morning, I've had the saying that says, stay low enough, long enough, soon you'll be big enough, which basically talks about expenditure to investment ratio. But what if you're starting what if you've started getting your first salaries and now the family that is the parents start depending on you? Will you just ignore them or submit to their requirements, or how do you manage that order to save and invest? This is Geoffrey Otieno. Okay, stay low enough until you become big. Okay, and then this one says, just one question. If I'm not required to include details such as marital status, religion, and tribe in my CV as they can lead to bias, then why is it mandatory for me to include the same information when applying for these government roles? Also, the roles where I'm supposed to apply directly through their websites. And mind you, you can't proceed to the next stage of application without including this information. Hey. Okay, and then this one says a copy. Says, hi, this is Baraza from Mombasa. My story is like that of Fancy. Initially wanted to do law but failed in my KCSE and opted for HR, which is started from a certificate level, and now I am doing my degree in the same. Passion is really key in what one is doing. But again, one should be flexible because one is never guaranteed that he or she will get that job. I wish one of them could just take my CV, Amaninini, and teach me the real job. I'm desperate to really know what a HR does. I'm talking of real work. I love those three panelists. This is Wana
Mwaga Mtama.
Oh gosh, I thought that's your name. Sorry. Yeah. And then they continue to say. And then you didn't answer the question on experience. The first question, if they ask for experience and you are from school, how do you answer them? Okay. Oh, hey.
Mwaga Mtama. Ilikuwa ni ukweli ile tulisema ni Mwakenya hapa.
Right? Mwakenya kabisa. Yeah. Okay, who wants to go first? Okay.
Yes.
Like when I'm writing job descriptions, we never say we want 0 experience. If we say we want 0 to, or we want 1 to 2 years experience, that means if you have 0, you should apply also. And we will consider you if you bring an, like you have a strong case. So if it says 1 to 2, 1 to 3 years of experience, and you have 0, just apply, and you might get the role.
Okay. Plus, there are things you did in school. Probably you were in leadership in some sort. You did like ongezes of skills. Ulifanya computer packages.
I want to add.
Yes.
I want to add what Dan is saying. And my call to students is build your experience well in school. Those school holidays, don't waste all of them.
Yes.
Doing nothing and all that. And sometimes I know you keep applying for internships and you don't get, but some of us also don't look for them. And sometimes when you're told it is not paying you, you don't even discuss. You know, and sometimes people go for internship and you end up staying there. You end up getting a job and actually staying. Even volunteer jobs, and they don't have to be related to your job. It could be a volunteering on something that is very far from what you're studying, but then you're learning very different skills. You're learning how to, like I said, how to work with people, how to negotiate, how to manage meetings. You're learning how to speak. There's all those things. So when you start doing your CV, there's a whole lot of things that you're going to write that as a recruiter, I'll be seeing this person is fresh from school, but then they have they have something extra. And even online data entry. There are so many things that we can do right now. Don't just depend and not just depend on your parents to get for you everything. Hata wewe fanya kitu. Just go online, look for something to go to your school. You'll be surprised that like for me, I keep saying I never tarmacked. And because I was worried because of my degree, I had a science degree and I was doing HR. I went to our dean and told him, you know what, I'm looking for an internship. Paid or not paid, I just want to understand, like she's saying, this HR from the ground.
Yes.
And I got an internship and ended up staying there for a whole year.
Yes.
You know, it will end up being paid. After that, I just got a job.
Interesting.
You know, so sometimes whether it is being paid or not, that should not be a question. Because they say we are paid either in cents or in experience. You get that job, like Brian had said, maybe it's paying you less. But then that experience now catapults you to the next level. So build experience when in school. Usipende sana ukabore.
Usiseme mimi ni student. Kwa hivyo that's it. End of
Even those clubs, that club in your school, whichever club that it is, just get involved. Be the organizing secretary, be whatever that it is. Be involved. Those people stand out even in other places.
Soft skills are more important right now. Okay. Then there's the other one who says, "Munasema tusiweke religion na nini na nini."
Na sasa hii government job.
Munasema tuweke next.
Yeah, I think I'll take that and die on that hill as well. I want to believe for the government, because his question was for the government essentially.
Roles,
it's part of their biodata form, you know. So we've also, part of the government transitioning to a digital space is collecting e-files and information from the different like job applicants. And so it's important for them to just have that information. You know, eventually different organizations collect different types of data. And as long as it's being used for the correct purposes, and I mean, it's on a government website, so that in itself is legit. And if it says you must provide them with that as part of what they need for your file and your application, then by all means, go ahead and do it.
For the government, they also have I think we have an act or a policy that talks about cohesion and unity. You cannot have, if a shortly just has people from my tribe, that would be a problem. So I think in the selection, it's also important to make sure that it is, because it's the government for all of us. So I think for the government, I think it is okay for them to ask. I don't know about marriage, but even gender, you know, knowing that we have taken this number of men, this number of female, I think it's important for the government.
Just put, weka tu, usi nini, usi katai Just do it. Okay, is there any other questions that we've not answered from the WhatsApp? I don't think
there was a first one, someone was asking like, what exactly should be on a CV?
Yes.
Really quickly. So your name, your email address, phone number with the code, country code, and then very, very important, your LinkedIn profile. So if you're applying for jobs online, people want to see your LinkedIn profile to just check if you're legit. So it's really important. And then now we usually put like a short summary on our resumes, 5 to 6 sentences, just an overview of your career. And then now the next section is depending on your qualifications. If you have a master's or a PhD, start with education. If you only have a degree, start with the experience. If it's more, start with experience and then now education and then certifications. Most of the time we advise you not to put referees, because if you're going to do 400 applications like me, 400 people are going to have Jane's number if she's my referee, and that's not good.
It's not,
So you say referees are available upon request, and then now you close the CV there. Nothing else. Nothing
nisieke ID, nisieke
referees never
hobbies.
Referees kama must.
Easily available upon request.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. See, we learn every day.
We do.
Just talk about referees, because I've also seen the entry level just using lecturers.
Yes.
2 to 3 years ago, they can't even, you even never had a relationship. So when you go for those internships, also create your referees that time. And keep in touch post that particular referee.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. The one who said
just to add some,
HR. Okay, yes, go.
Something on the CV. So it depends. If you're changing your, if your career is different from your education, you have to analyze what is your strength here. Is it the degree? Is it the academic, saying that you are a civil engineer but then you're looking for a HR job? Or is it you talking about just a degree and then leaving University of Nairobi, because then you don't want to be thrown out? When they meet you, they like you. So yeah, so you have to
that's
also
why it's
know.
important to like get an expert to do it for you.
And faster. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, because now I'm like, okay, a lot. Okay, so let's answer the ones that was asked, and then with time, if we have enough time, we'll still go through. There's so many questions. Sasa tuanzie nani?
Fancy. I think Fancy kuna zile questions ulikuwa umeshika.
So there's the question about productivity. I think the question was something in the lines of, for you to be, what do you term productivity as? Is it a skill set? Do I need to have money? I think from what you said.
Yes.
And productivity is really your ability to deliver and follow through on what you are supposed to be doing. You know, if I tell you, give me a report by this time, I mean, it's very clear, the terms of engagement are clear, the time where I want it, how I want it, when I want it, and you're able to deliver on that piece, and you're even able to collaborate and let me know or keep me up to speed, like we are tracking deliverables or action items, then that's part of being productive. Yes, it's part of, that's what productivity actually does mean. So it's not something that you buy, it's not something that you, I don't know, you're given. It's who you are, it's what you deliver, it's the output, you know, it's the impact, it's what is required, the result, if I might say so.
Ability to produce. Okay.
Do you remember yours, the questions?
Yeah. Okay. The gentleman over there had asked how to know like which roles are scams, which ones are not.
Especially for remote.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest sign is usually if, for example, you're applying for a job, and then the first thing they tell you is about what you're gonna get. Oh, so the salary is this much, you're gonna get this and this and this and this. That's usually a very big red flag. So most normal job descriptions are, this is who we are as a company. This is what we need you to have for before you even apply. This is what you're gonna be doing, your responsibilities. And then at the bottom, that's where they're gonna say, compensation is going to be this much, or compensation is going to be based on your qualifications. So if they start with an insanely high salary for very little qualifications, like if it just looks too easy, there's probably a scam. So that's usually the easiest way to check it. And then you can go on glassdoor.com and search the name of the company and see what people are saying about that company. You can see people who have worked there say these people are scammers, they will make you work for 3 months, don't pay you. You see, these people are not scammers, but they have the rudest managers ever. You don't want to work under them. So it just depends on if you see that first red flag of it being too focused on what you get, just ignore it. And if you don't see too many red flags but you're unsure, just go on Glassdoor and check and see
if it's legit or not. What about the thing for having to pay money at the upfront? You have to pay for us to consider you.
That's the first red flag. That one, for if someone is asking you to pay either to be interviewed, either for a medical, for the clearance from police, good conduct, anybody asking you to pay for anything, it's a scam. Good employers will never charge you. I mean, you're looking for a job. Even for us recruiters, I know there are those who charge job seekers, but most recruiters are paid by the organization, so that you don't have to charge the job seekers. So anybody asking you for money is, and then urgency. If the person is looking like everything is so urgent, you have to fill this position, there's a red flag there. If it is not deep, it is
they're getting smarter. They're getting smarter. There's this one that I almost fell for. We were doing applications for one of our clients, and it was like they made a UNICEF website. A whole website. It looked like UNICEF. And then we applied for the job, and they're telling us, you have been shortlisted for the interview, so we are very happy, but there's a certificate you have to have that you don't have it. And then they give you a link to go and do that certification. It costs $16. Yeah.
Anything like that is just a scam.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah, so you really have to be smart with it. Because he was almost clicking to pay, and then I was like, no wait.
First of all, right?
Yeah, that would never happen. And then now I searched the website and I saw it was unicef.co and not .com.
And they also do that for
difference.
emails. They also do that for emails. Like this time World Division was all over, they were being scammed by the same. World Division and Tier Fund. And what they were doing is the job has maybe a .com, but if you go to the website of that organization, it's something different. The domain is different from the email. But of course, they'll ask you for money at some point.
You're
going to meet you for interview in some dingy place.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And I can imagine the number of people who fell for that because you're desperate. You want a job. Wow.
And you've been applying for a long time, so you're excited about
it. It's like, hallelujah, something finally is coming up. And then, no. Okay. Yeah, there was a question about when I get how to.
What's the exit strategy?
You know, 90 years in, bado wako job.
So I'll combine that with, I think, one of the questions that came from the back of you're fresh from school and you're asking for 2 years experience.
Yes.
So first of all, I remember when I came from school, I would say the same. Actually, they are looking for shows 10 years. You know? And I would always complain about those jobs. But there's a job for you. Trust me, there are very many jobs that are looking for fresh graduates, graduate trainees, you know, all those are. So keep looking, there's a job for you. The 10-year one is not yours, but there's a job that's actually looking for someone with your skills and all that. And you have to take those. If you refuse an internship, then you miss out on this. If you don't apply, like Brian said, if you don't apply, you can never win a game that you're not playing.
You're disqualifying yourself before
to win the game. So very important that you do that. And then on the one for seeing like people are not exiting, people exit. Somehow God has a way of exiting people. At any one time we have attrition. That's why we have jobs all the time. Why for me I think we have unemployment is because of sometimes the industry. The industry sometimes doesn't align with the courses that we do, or sometimes you have that theory, but then you're not able to deliver what the things that you would have learned. We call it finishing school. Like you're done with your grad degree, you have all the theories, but then when you come to the ground, umesoma kupika ugali kwa YouTube. On the ground, it's a different skill altogether. So I think it's okay. God has a way of just ensuring there's attrition. People are retiring every year, even from private organizations. We can have one, two who own things and they don't take, but somehow attrition is
there will there will be okay. And then the other one, you talked about the 2 years experience, and then there's I think on AI right, that was your question.
AI and talent,
human talent,
creating a space for both to exist well.
You want to pick it?
So I feel like everyone needs to learn AI like as soon as possible.
Okay.
Immediately.
Like last year.
Okay.
Get a course on Coursera or on Google or Udemy. Find someone who's an expert in AI, who's a friend, because if you don't, you will be in some sense replaced. People will be working faster than you.
Sorry, when you say AI, most people think it's ChatGPT. Okay. So maybe just to clarify, when we say at least have some knowledge, know how to navigate AI, what exactly does that look like? And especially in the current workforce, and also just tagging into what the future would need as far as someone who's tech savvy.
My understanding of AI, and I mean, we can always ask ChatGPT as well.
Nice one.
Again, is essentially, it simulates human intelligence, and they use the LLMs, the LLMs?
Language models.
Yes, those, and then collect the data, search their database, all that stuff. But essentially, there's a tool. AI in itself is a tool, right? And it meets very different needs. So if you want, like, I don't know, if you want something for sound, if you want something for videos, if you want something for, I don't know, to write your emails, there's very different tools for very different things, you know? So when people hear AI, I think they panic in the sense that it feels like it's overwhelming, yet you don't need to exactly learn everything, you know? You just need to learn the skill set, the AI-related skill set that works for you or is in line with the industry you're in or your day-to-day work. And it's here not essentially to take away your job, it's here for efficiency. So I always give an example of, if you have a washing machine, I mean, let's use LG, right? They have an AI-powered drum set within the washing machine, right? Okay. Yes, you can set a timer. You can tell it, these are my set of clothes, this is cotton, this is nylon, this is whatever. But you need someone to load the machine and offload.
Yes.
So why are you scared? I mean, the thing just came here to support the system and help you sort out your issues. So it's for you to learn to understand, what do I need? In AI, what do I need? Otherwise, you'll have a lot of digital fatigue, you'll have a lot of panic, you'll be all over the place, you won't be centered, you know, and you essentially don't need all that, because we are here as human beings to complement each other, and we can't know everything, you know.
Okay, I hope you've gotten an answer for that. We got another question.
I'll just add on.
Yes, please.
So true. Some jobs like Safanya said, if you're the one who was now doing the washing, assuming there's washing and the one for loading, the one for washing is gone. So some of those jobs will actually be replaced for sure. And we have seen them, and I'll keep using the digital. You know, they went on strike, they did ABCD. We have Kodak, who didn't think about the digital cameras and all those things. When the phones came and all of us were holding a camera on our hands. You know what I mean? So it is up to you to understand how then do you in line, because then if you don't align, you have to be phased out. So those who are going to suffer, those who are not going to align with that field, and we can expand this to technology. Automation is one thing, but then we have actually things that we have to really align to just know that if this comes to my industry, then what are the changes and how do I remain relevant? How do I remain indispensable, like you had said earlier? So that has to be a constant question that we ask ourselves. I'm told in Rift Valley, those who do farming for tea, the harvesting, we now have drones. The farms are, the worker fertilizer, the pruning, everything else is done, everything is drones. So how they did their livelihood 10 years ago, it's going to be very different by the time we get to 2030. If today you resign, we don't replace you because we are to a strike, but now what was done by 100 women can be done by these 3 drones. So we cannot run away from, but then there are new careers that are coming with it. The drone technicians, the drone operators, the whatnot, all those things. And I know you're on the receiving end, I'm more saying the drone manufacturers. But but you understand what I mean? So we have to really align yourself with the things that are changing in your industry. What worked last year may not work.
Might not work. And also, we literally have 3 minutes before we have to say goodbye. But probably we'll take your parting shot in terms of if there's that one thing that you would sort of like shift when it comes to the future of work, say by 2030. Now that you've mentioned 2030, what would it be? But my other question, just to tie to that, probably if you have another question, is then talking about cross-generational, because most of the time we usually talk about the young people prepare for the future, but we have boomers, bado wako kazi. Na maybe wanataka kukua kazi, say by 2030. So then how do they align so that they're not left behind, because technology near young people, you know, and they're like, see us, we don't know these things, you know, and we do not want to struggle.
You better learn, you know, you're a boomer or
adjust accordingly.
After you stop working, maybe you're at that 60, you still have a life that you might need to use your skills. And I also want to know that, to imagine that humans are unlimited. We can learn these things. And even you to talk about the generations, we'll always have multiple generations. We'll always have at least 4 or 5 generations. And we just have to learn how to transition and work
seamlessly.
Whether you're a Gen Z working with a boomer, manage up, know how to work with that boomer. If that boomer is also working with a Gen Z, also they have to also be able to accommodate you without calling you the negative connotation that we believe Gen Zs come with, you know, to minimize bile. You know, people just be able to work
together cordially.
If I was a boomer, I would get 2-3 Gen Zs in my company and just sit with them very often and just learn, because especially with AI, there's 3 levels. There's the ChatGPT, the LLMs that just like produce data. Give me 5 ideas for content this week. Give me this, and this. Then there's automations, things that do things on their own. So it doesn't need to be told to do something. Just automatically schedule that email, automatically send that invoice every other week. And then now there's the highest level, which is the agents. So agents are where, like, for example, if I call Safaricom right now, it's going to be an AI agent that responds. And then it's going to book me a meeting, or it's going to be taking me to a human agent.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have to learn the agents and the automations if it's not in your field. You can just learn the LLMs and how to prompt them correctly, and that's something that will take you less than 2 weeks
to learn.
Yeah. But if you are a young guy right now, learn all of them.
Okay.
Learn all of them. Yeah.
Even as you give us your parting shot, I'd like there's a question that was asked about how to negotiate and how to ask for pay when you're walking into that meeting. How do you've just gotten in, this is your first interview, how do you go about, and not just the first interview, even people who are struggling with that right now, as you give us your parting shot, maybe you can tie that in as well.
Okay. So negotiations are all about value. Again, I'll say that. But then for the job seeker today, learn to look at an organization holistically, you know. It's not always just about the money. There are very many silent costs that an employer suffers or takes upon themselves. Let me not say suffers, because it's a willing buyer-seller market.
Yes.
To be able to take on a role or to hire. So look at it holistically. So yes, they might be offering you X amount of money, which does not feel like it aligns either to your skill set and things like that. But there are other things that could be great. I mean, you could be traveling the world, and that's great exposure on its own. Or even to a different county, you don't have to go to the other parts of the world. They could be offering you meals, and you are a lazy cook like I am, you know. And that's where you're surviving on, you know. It could be. So all those other benefits, and we normally group them into the cash and the non-cash. So learn to look at that package and have that conversation. And in essence, just understand how they are valuing your time and how they are valuing your skill set, and meet them halfway. And this is a conversation. It's not like each of them hold like a stick, like they'll hammer it on
stand
you.
my ground.
Yes, learn to have conversations. And the skill set at that point is actually negotiation, you know, and your ability to differ in perspective, you know. So I think that's what I'd say.
Thanks, Kansi. And what a way to end the show. Unfortunately, time is not on our side, so allow us to say a special thank you to you all, Jane, Brian, Fancy, and of course to our amazing audience as well. Asanteni sana. I hope you've been answered. Allow us to say goodbye. My name is Winnie Lubembe. See you on Wednesday. Tomorrow I have Health Diary. I promise I have not absconding duty. I will see you on Wednesday.
We have noticed a trend. Tuesdays are Ukuji Square Mapenzi, really. What's going on? I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. I am Mikali Mary. Adios.
Bye.